I need to write this down while I still believe my own eyes. I work night security at the old Marlow Fields Mall. It's been closed for 2 years, waiting on a demolition permit that keeps getting delayed by paperwork nobody wants to finish. My job is simple. Walk the halls twice a night, make sure nobody's squatting in the old Sears, make sure the pipes haven't burst again. 9 hours, mostly alone, mostly bored. 3 weeks ago, I found the photo booth. It's tucked in a dead-end corridor near what used to be the food court. One of those old curtain-style booths with the spinning stool and the little strip of 4 photos for $2. The strange part is the power was still on. Everything else in that wing had been dark for months, but the booth's little screen glowed a soft blue, like it was waiting for someone. I don't know why I sat down. I think I just wanted to see if it still worked. I fed it 2 crumpled dollars I found in my jacket. The screen counted down. 3, 2, 1, flash, 4 times. Then it hummed and spat out a photo strip, still warm. The first 3 photos were exactly what you'd expect. Me squinting, me laughing at nothing, me caught mid-blink. The 4th photo was not me sitting on the stool. It was me lying on the food court floor, on my back, eyes open, with the ceiling tiles reflected wrong in the pupils, like the camera had caught something that wasn't there yet. My uniform was torn at the shoulder. There was a dark stain spreading under me that the flash had caught mid-bloom. I told myself it was a printing glitch, a double exposure from some previous customer bleeding through onto my strip. I laughed about it, actually laughed, alone in that dead corridor, and put the photo strip in my locker and finished my shift. The second time, I went back on purpose. I told myself I was testing a theory. I sat down, put in 2 more dollars, and this time I made sure to watch the little preview screen the whole time so I'd catch the mistake as it happened. Photos 1 through 3, fine. Me, my badge, my flashlight in frame. Photo 4, on the little preview screen before it even printed, was me standing at the far end of the corridor, facing the Sears entrance, one hand pressed flat against the pull-down security gate. The gate in the photo was raised about a foot. In the actual corridor, right then, sitting on the stool, I could see through the gap in the curtain that the Sears gate was down all the way, chained, same as always. I didn't go near that gate for the rest of the shift. I told myself the whole thing was rigged somehow. Some prop left behind by whoever ran the booth, a slideshow of old horror movie stills mixed in to scare kids. That's what I told myself walking to my car at 6 in the morning, and I almost believed it until I got home and looked at the timestamp printed at the bottom of the strip. It matched my shift clock out to the minute for a photo that hadn't happened yet when it printed. I should have stopped there. I want it on record that I know that. Third time, 4 nights later, I brought my phone to record the whole booth from outside the curtain so I'd have proof, so someone besides me could see whatever this thing was doing. I sat down. Countdown. Flash, 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 flash. Photos 1 through 3, normal, tired-looking me under booth light.
Photo 4. The food court again. Wider angle this time, like the camera had backed up. And behind me, past the shape of me lying on the floor, same as the first photo, I could see the photo booth itself in the shot. The curtain was pulled back. There was someone sitting on the stool inside it. Their face was turned toward the camera, toward whatever was taking this 4th picture. It wasn't me. It was a woman I have never seen in my life. Mid-30s maybe, wearing a mall uniform vest like mine, but a different color. A color our uniforms haven't been in years, based on some faded catalog page I found later in the back office. She looked calm. She looked like she'd already accepted whatever came after that photo. I checked my phone recording when I got outside. The footage showed me sitting in the booth the entire time, alone, no one else in frame, curtain never moving. Whatever the booth photographs, it isn't limited by what a camera lens can actually see. I did some digging after that because at that point I needed to know I wasn't losing my mind alone. Marlowe Fields opened in 1987. There was a small news item from 1994 about a tragic accident near the food court. A maintenance worker found after hours. No other details given. Case quietly closed within a week. I found the old employee handbook in a filing cabinet in the back office, laminated cover gone yellow, and the vest colors in the photo on page 6 matched the vest in my fourth photograph exactly. Here's the part I really don't want to write down, but I promised myself I'd finish this honestly. Last week, I pried open the side panel of the booth with a screwdriver, just to see the mechanism, to prove to myself it was only an old dot matrix printer spitting out preloaded slides on some corroded loop, nothing more. Behind the panel, taped to the inside wall of the booth, in layers going back who knows how many years, were dozens of other fourth photographs. Not mine, not the woman's, strangers. Some in styles of clothing I didn't recognize, some so faded I could barely make out a shape. Every single one showed a person, alone, in some part of this mall, in the final moment the booth had decided to show them. Some looked frightened. Most looked calm, the way you look when a thing has already stopped being a surprise. I counted 41 photographs before I made myself stop counting. I think the booth doesn't predict anything. I think it's a record, filed slightly out of order, and it only shows you the picture once you've already agreed somewhere underneath your own thinking to become one more photograph on that wall. I haven't gone back to that corridor in 6 nights. I take the long way around through the old anchor store, even though it adds 20 minutes to my walk, and the motion sensor lights in there haven't worked since spring. But 2 nights ago, doing my second round, my radio clicked on with 3 seconds of dead static, the kind that happens right before someone starts talking, and underneath it, so quiet I almost convinced myself I hadn't heard it at all, was a countdown. 3, 2, 1. I don't carry $2 in my jacket anymore. I checked twice before every shift this week, and there is always, somehow, exactly $2 in the left pocket by the time I clock in. I don't know who keeps putting it there. I don't know if it matters whether I ever go back and spend it, or if the 40-second photograph is already printed, already taped up on that inside wall, just waiting for the rest of us to catch up to it.
There's one more thing. I went back to that filing cabinet in the back office, the one with the old handbook, because I wanted to know what happened to the woman in the color vest photograph. I found a payroll ledger from 1994, water-stained, half the names illegible. One entry was circled in red pen, not typed, just circled, like someone else had gone looking before me and wanted it marked. The name matched no employee record I could find anywhere else in that office, like she existed only in that one ledger and nowhere the mall kept official track of. Next to her name, in the same red pen, someone had written a single word. Again. I keep turning that word over. Again. Not a name, not a note about rehiring her, just that one word. Like whoever wrote it already knew this had happened before her too, and would happen after, and that the mall doesn't really close, not completely, not in the way the demolition paperwork thinks it does. It just changes which corridor the booth is waiting in. I called in sick tonight, first time in 3 years. I told my supervisor I had a fever, and that part at least wasn't a lie. I've been running hot and shaking since I found that ledger, like my body already knows something my head is still catching up to. I clock out in 4 hours if I go in at all. I'll let you know if that changes.